This has nothing to do with the video that I'm about to drop, but I like accuracy. I'm a little bit of, OCD. When things are improperly put out in the air, I feel like some of us have to be responsible and keep it accurate, right? Foolio did not die on his birthday, guys. His birthday was Friday, June 21st. But like most Negroes, he went out and celebrated on his birthday. I gotta keep that accurate because a lot of people are gonna push content for clout and try to align and make a narrative that's not true. End of the day, dying is dying, and that's bad on its own, but he did not die on his birthday. What's going on, Reset? It's gravitating away, and I'm driving my little truck, handling some business. Oh, man. What a day today, but let's chop it up real quick, y'all. Let's chop it up about a few things, man. So we all are privy to the news about Foolio being murdered. And again, not on his birthday. His birthday was Friday, but they were celebrating his birthday like many of us do on a day that's not technically on our birthday. But I get the correlation, he's making fun of 23 and them boys, died on the 23rd. I understand, you feel me? It's only right for people who are actually involved, because a lot of you internet fools, everybody want to feel a part of the cool squad. And I didn't know since when degeneracy is what's cool to y'all, but, the internet's gonna internet, but I digress. My wife asked me, because she saw me a little bummed out, not knowing that, I'm thinking about like deeper things, right? And she saw me make my videos on Foolio, you feel me? And she was like, don't tell me you feel bad about that. Not her fault, she's a woman and she's worried about what's in front of her, which is cool, you feel me? But I talked to her and I said, interesting question, why shouldn't I feel bad? I don't know none of these young dudes, right? And I don't care who it is. Even I remember the day when Young and Ace, brother and friends were murdered in the vehicle on his little brother's birthday. I remember all of that, and it's like, I put myself in their shoes only because, number one, I'm a human being. Number two, I'm a black man. Number three, I'm still in those same areas that a lot of people deem to be the hood, the projects, whatever you want to call it. I'm still around that. Do I move a certain way? Of course. I wouldn't have made it to the age that I am now if I wasn't intelligent enough to understand how you move out here. And even then, you still could be a casualty of the bullshit. But nonetheless, I put myself in a lot of these guys' shoes. Number one, I have siblings. Number two, my family has went through things involving murders, prison, all of that. So I'm not saying nothing to a lot of y'all that haven't experienced some of this stuff, but I thought it was weird that she asked me, do I feel bad? Because in my mind, I'm like, are we that desensitized, right, to murder? And even when y'all tell me, hey, he asked for it, Foolio and all these other guys are evoking death, and I get it, you speak on this. This is why the Bible says, let the dead bury the dead. There's a lot of things y'all not supposed to speak on, but the man is dead. There's not much I could say about his death, and I'm definitely above making jokes about somebody's death, but I felt bad because, not only because I was a fan of his, his growth, meaning like, a lot of people are privy to Julio's foolishness, right? His antics of going back and forth with his so-called ops, whatever. But for me, I saw talent in him. And if only he could focus more on the talent. But the problem with our community is, I noticed when he was trying to focus on his talent, nobody was trying to hear all that. Like a lot of young black artists trying to make it, they take the route of, smoking on packs and ops and all that stuff, the degeneracy, because that's what y'all love. I see all these bloggers and AK-47, no hate, no shade, but I remember there was a time you were saying, bro, that you're getting tired of reporting on these things. but you're back at it. And I get it, we're content creators. You're gonna touch on the quote unquote clout. Everybody's reporting on it, and I'm not gonna, knock you for it. But what I'm saying is, y'all all drawn to the clout, to the detriment of a bigger alarming issue of we're trying to outpace one another, right? To see who's gonna crash out, man. The bad news in general, right? Like, I could make a video about the community and what work we're putting in to better it, right? But most of y'all not gonna care. And I've gone past the point of being emotional about that, about being passionate about that, because I understand, man. I know what comes with this. It don't make it right, but I understand. But anytime I see these young guys, dying, by the way, there's a lot more that are passing away in the same manner, but they're not a Foolio, they're not a Youngin Ace, etc. Duck, all these other people that are, of notoriety. They're just regular average people, right? That nobody cares about, really. Nobody really cares about. But you're gonna see everybody tap in. 1090 Jake, I saw you too. None of y'all really care. But what I would hope, right, more than feeling bad about Foolio, you think every time something like this happens, there's a lesson to be learned. More importantly, people are gonna manifest the lesson and heed to that warning, but it's not. It's repeated, right? Like, I'm riding down, I can't tell you which street in Broward County. I'm literally watching body on the ground. No joke, body on the ground. Of course, the tarp is covering it, but body on the ground. And for those of you in Broward, you're gonna see it on the news. You're gonna see it on the news, man. And it's like every hood has this going on. And without just going on a rant or a tangent, I just want to say, who's going to actually learn from this? And I'm speaking to the younger ones involved in the madness, because we all know there are victims that got nothing to do with this, but just have been, unfortunately casualties of the war. But I really hope all of you platforms that are reporting on this, instead of trying to remind us about what these guys been invoking, right? I even seen goofy ass Aunt Glizzy making a video about Foolio and a couple of other dudes like Billionaire Black. And it's like, dude, this beef was in Florida, bro, where I'm from. Like, it got nothing to do with Chicago or the DMV, Aunt Glizzy, but everybody want to feel like they're picking sides. But we all lose in the end in terms of the optics. The actual physical optics, we all lose, man. Don't you know, even if your child not involved in that, but we're in these so-called neighborhoods, that thing spills over, bro. I could show y'all all the innocent bodies that got nothing to do with nothing but are caught in the way. So I really hope we do better. I'm not gonna go on and on. I just thought that was crazy that she asked me that, my wife that is, that, don't tell me you feel bad. And it's not her fault. I get where she was coming from. But it's like a lot of things on my mind. I'm even thinking about my own children. I don't want to see them die young. They're teenagers. I got one about to turn 17 later in July. And it just makes me think. That's all. Like, this stuff, it dawns on me that we're on a fast pace, on a self-propelled genocide. No offense, the Tariq Nasheeds of the world, the ADOS and all that. We love to talk about white supremacy, but we're really ignoring what we do at our own hands. Like, we don't need white supremacy anymore. They're the puppet masters, right? Allegedly, that y'all like to say. But you never take responsibility and accountability away from those that allow their strings to be pulled. That's how I see it. So what say y'all in the comment section about that, man? Let me holler at y'all, especially those of you that are older and you have children. And like, I'm not that young no more. When I see this, I just ignore it. It affects me. I'm a human being. I don't like making fun of no deaths the way Foolio did to his ops. But let's not pretend his ops were doing the same thing as well. It's like a cycle amongst all communities across America that's involving black people. But it's sad, though. It's really sad, man. Look, this was Gravitating Away. I had to go for a quick drive and tap in with my children. just have another one-on-one to make sure, man, they minds understand what's going on out here. This ain't a time to tap in with the foolishness. It's to really sit down and just like think about it, you know, and learn from
you can't get on me. I can't jump on the stage with a stick on me. Every cornerback women gotta pick on them. Every Glock in it big got a dick on it. How you watching my live won't click on it. I'm a butt on a rolling, no tick on it. They ain't tell you about root, I got a kick on